Hello everyone, welcome to what is a very, very exciting video for reasons I'm sure you're all aware of. I'm recording this the night of. I've brought Geek Rambles along as always, and we are going to be discussing the big news. The news of, dare I even say, I don't even know whether I can say of the year, because already 2023 is shaping up to be one of the biggest years in the show's history. But David Tennant and Catherine Tate have just been announced to be returning as almost certainly the 10th Doctor and Donna, respectively. We don't even know that for sure, do we? Did they? Oh no, they did say the long-running duo is returning, fan favourite. So I think it is confirmed that they are them. What is your thoughts on this, just off the cuff initially?
I was watching your live stream, and the second the news dropped, I just welled up. I don't know how that sounds to anyone else, but I did say that I was gonna end up being really emotional if that happened, and it is. I can't quite get my head around it. I don't feel like it's quite real right now.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense to anyone else, probably not.
I'm in the same boat. Like I'm the sort of person who has, as like everyone knows, I look at a lot of the leaks and the rumors and the speculation and all that. And so, therefore, I kind of had a sense that something like this might go down. But I think there's a difference between speculating about something and seeing something written and seeing something actually exist. And like it being real just feels bizarre. Like I still feel like I'm in a dream between Shooty's announcement last week, Russell coming back in general, and now this.
Haven't we been treated?
We really have. Like this just feels like, you know how people talk about like perfect timelines? It feels like we're on that track right now. I could not imagine a better result for Doctor Who, frankly, because I said on Twitter, and I think this is a great point, there are 3 times where Doctor Who's at its most popular. You got anniversaries, when new eras start, so new Doctor, new showrunner, and all that, and when David Tennant's on it. And Doctor Who is about to do all 3 in the same year. So I think Doctor Who's about to explode, and I cannot wait, and I could not be happier.
It just, you know, when there was just so much that, oh no, David Tennant wasn't recording in Cardiff, you know, Donna's definitely not going to come back. And then, I mean, I still don't know whether I've fallen out with RTD right now, because I have never been in such a state from, what was it, like 2 words of their back. Nerve-wracking, stressful. I had about 3 heart attacks.
One thing I will say, like this whole, because we were speaking last time when we were talking about Shooty, about how like this marketing approach kind of worked. That sentiment holds true again for me with this. Like the amount of just insanity, like I said, you know, you mentioned my live stream before, like there was so many people just out of their minds, excited. Twitter was, everything was going mental. And I have no doubt that across the next few days, it's going to be like, can you imagine the TikToks? Imagine like the I can't even TikToks of like the then and nows and all of this sort of stuff. This to me is the best stuff that could be happening right now. And I'm so excited. I'm really, really happy. Obviously, I'd love it if the Smiths came back and the Ponds. You know, I'm not gonna count chickens before they hatch, count my eggs before one of the two, because you know, obviously, don't want to get greedy because this is still phenomenal news. But what a day! I just wonder how it's going to be done now. Is the thing, like, are they going to be plucked from series 4, like time scooped? Are they going to mess about with the memory? I hope they don't change Donna's ending or ruin Donna's ending. That is something I am worried about.
Oh God, 100%. I think the Flux might be a really good way to bring things together that are not necessarily in their timeline, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, actually.
So this, as much as I'm not, you know, massive fan of the Flux, this actually could be wonderful. And I think we said, actually, is this like a reset button? I'm going back to about 4 or 5 videos ago.
I think it is.
Could be a great one for this.
Because we know as well, Russell's seen the centenary. He said on, I don't know where he said it, but he said, oh, Jodie's finale is spectacular, something. You know, you're saying it was like a 10-year-old's fantasy come to life. Could the centenary lead into this? Because we know Ace and Tegan are coming back. And they say, you know,
about that.
They say, like, I haven't seen the Doctor in nearly 4 decades, just because it's only 3 decades for me. Obviously, we know in spin-offs and stuff, they have met again multiple times.
Yes.
And obviously, I know that does tend to get, like, the main show's weird about like considering what is and isn't canon when it comes to audios and stuff, because like obviously in Night of the Doctor they canonize all of his companions on audio, Lucy, Molly, all the others. I don't really remember all of them, but then like obviously some things get ignored. So but what I'm thinking is that intentional? Is there some time stuff going on that's leading to Ace and Tegan not remembering past things, that's leading to Ten and Donna coming back, that maybe does tie into the Flux, which you mentioned?
I mean, RTD, and I'm gonna lump Chibnall in with this because I feel like it would be unfair not to before we've even seen anything, would work cleverly together. Because I feel like I think we mentioned about influence in another video, and I think that this is obviously going to be the one where we do get it. Like I said, because of the Flux and because of certain memories not being really brought to the forefront, if you like, it's going to be, it would make it easy. And now usually I'm against this sort of thing, but it would make it easy to bring these things back.
Even if it's not the Flux, even if it's just, even if it's something RTD is planning that maybe gets threaded in like the centenary, because we know they've spoken, so there's clearly from where Chibnall leaves the universe, obviously RTD is going to pick up from, presumably. Unless they do just do the whole, you know, that meme that people were saying, if we wake up and it's 2008 and the TARDIS is like, you know, there. And that, the thing is, that could actually happen. Like, they could actually, you know, at the end of the centenary now, that is a possibility. You cut to black, you fade in on the 2008 console room, and you say, reintroducing David Tennant as the Doctor. That could actually be a thing that happens now.
It is possible, and it's not that I said last time that everything that I think I want, I end up not wanting. So this might be the same thing. But I think it's really important to not bank on nostalgia all the time.
That is true.
Very difficult to do because we've got, I can't believe I'm saying it, but we've got David Tennant and Catherine Tate coming back, so it's going to be very, very difficult not to bank on that nostalgia.
I definitely agree with you on that point. The only reason I'm not as worried about that, one, it's RTD, and I trust story-wise there's going to be like a good reason for them to be there. I don't think it's going to be, obviously I don't like to constantly bash Chibnall if I can help it, but I don't think it's going to be a Captain Jack situation of like, oh, we're here. Anyway, I don't think it's going to be that. You know, I think it's... But the other thing that's instilling confidence in me is that we have our 14th Doctor. We have Ncuti Gatwa. So this isn't the replacement for that. This is... Well, we don't even really know what this is in relation to Ncuti. Is this the in-between thing? I assume it is, because they, as Lisa Nazima pointed out in the article for BBC, I don't know whether you read it, but he pointed out that they normally announce these things when they're like gearing up to film stuff. And given that we know Tennant's been in Cardiff, because that's pretty much confirmed now that that was the thing that was real.
I know.
I could imagine 60th filming is starting imminently. So does that mean we get the 60th first and then a series with Ncuti afterwards? That does seem like the more likely thing if they're filming the 60th first. Although TV is always out of order, so I don't know.
It is, but it brings me back to our last conversation. I think it was a couple of videos ago about whether something's going to, overshadow Ncuti. But now that we know that it's Ncuti, I don't think that's going to be an issue.
No, and I think as well, bringing back Tennant and Tate is a massive, like, let's not like be around the bush. It's a massive thing for like general audiences. Let's be real, like they were the ones who, they're the ones who like, I stopped watching when Tennant left. That is, the thing is, as much as that meme, you know, is kind of lambasted in the fan base, that type of fan is kind of like, oh yeah, well, you stop watching when. The reality is that does represent a lot of people.
Yeah.
So I've always said this, reintroducing a new Doctor off the back of a Tennant and Tate return, especially one with an established following like Ncuti, with an audience who perhaps haven't been into Doctor Who since Tennant left, that might very well be the perfect recipe to relaunch Doctor Who to the general public.
Oh, yeah. I mean, even from Ncuti being announced, I mean, I don't know if you saw, but Doctor Who, the official Twitter page, their followers went balmy. Their followers went crazy.
Yeah.
They gained so many, so it's not surprising. I think they've done it in the right order. Sorry, I'm still trying.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think if they had done this first, if they had done the Tennant and Tate thing before we knew about Ncuti, I'd be a bit worried. I'd be a bit like, oh, okay, because it's as you said. I don't want just nostalgia. I think it's fine to do both. I think that's the best way to go about it. As I said before, like, this isn't a new thing. Doctors returning for anniversaries is a tradition that goes back all the way to the 1970s with the Three Doctors. It's not, I mean, it is partially a ratings grab slightly, because they've even admitted as such that it is. But it's not one without precedent, and it's not one that's come out of nowhere. Like, it's a thing that the show is known to do every 10 or so years. So I don't know. I think it's because it's Russell as well. Because it's Russell, yeah. I'm confident it's not going to come across like it's coming out of nowhere, like it's really weird. Does that make sense? I'm confident this is going to work.
Shout out to Debs Iona, Shane Smith, Ree Keffin, Seb Lowndes, Jay Monroe, Hash Shandycoot, Patrick Mewson, Simon Ashley, Steve Safaro, Andrew Townsend, Alex Robbins, Michael Dykes, Paul Bryden, Sam Yates, Michael Rhodes, Jerry the Meerkat, Heretic, Bibliotecaria Nerd, Cameron Jefferson, John M, Metahuvian, Ben Freeman. If you want to become a member, feel free to do so. It really helps out. You get exclusive posts, shout outs in every video, and even your own badge and custom emojis to use.